Hello, it's Stephen Hayes of Fruitwise Heritage Apples again, and we're continuing our series of tutorials about how to prune apple trees. We're continuing these hopefully through the summer to show you all different aspects of summer pruning as well as winter pruning. Right now we're looking at the saw. The pruning saw is very important. It's more important than secateurs really. Important things about the saw: firstly, if it's not sharp enough to do its job, it's not sharp enough to hurt you very badly, it's not fit for purpose, okay? So you want a really sharp saw, so you need to be very careful. When you get it out, just have a moment's thought or prayer, not to cut yourself with it, because this is deadly sharp. We use these Japanese Silky Fox Gomtaro apple saws. They're very thin, they're easily broken, but they're very useful, and you cut on the back stroke. Now this branch here is has fruited in the past, but it's too low. I've chosen, it's just got to come out, it's got to come out here, but I've chosen this particular branch just to show you a little bit how to use and how not to use the saw. So the initial cuts I'm making are not proper pruning cuts, they're just to show you about using the saw. Okay, so let's say we were going to cut here. Right, now you'll note that I'm not touching the tree. Now what happens, if it wiggles around, that's no good at all. It's got to be stabilised, okay? You can stabilise it by holding it here or here. Okay, so let's imagine we were taking this off. Can you come closer, my dear? Right, so carefully slide forward and then slide back. Now you see that's gone right through. Two things there. First, that's gone right through in two cuts. Secondly, the saw has come through and it's cut there as well. Okay, which I didn't really want. I didn't want to damage that. So that's something to bear in mind. Now one way of avoiding the saw whizzing through is to go halfway through and then to turn it round and then snick it through the other side. You see? I'll just do the same again here. Okay, halfway through and come from the other side. I'm sawing very carefully there. Okay, that's done that. Another way of achieving the same thing is when you're halfway through to just bevel the saw up down like that, bearing in mind you're not using a very strong stroke. Okay, I went through, but it didn't go a long way because I'd gone through very slowly and carefully. Again, note the action of the saw. Can you come and film this from sideways on, Julian? Thank you. I'm not pulling down hard. This is not a chopper, it's a saw. So I'm pulling back quite gently, concentrating on keeping the saw moving in a straight line. It's not a knife, it's a saw. So again, just gentle movements. Okay, see how nice and instant it is to use. Now, I'll show you a mistake that's quite commonly made. Let's imagine this was a heavy branch and we're cutting through this and there's a heavy weight pulling down here. Okay, did you see that? Now, that's bad news, isn't it? You're cutting a heavy branch and you cut down and the weight of the branch pulls it down when you're 3/4 of the way through, pulling off a great big piece of wood underneath. Now that's terrible. How can you avoid doing that? Easily, make an undercut first, okay? Now, if you watch, you'll see I can't do that now. You see? It's not going to do that. So there's just different ways of using it. Now we're going to make the definitive cut, which is about 2 or 3 millimeters out. Can you see there's a collar of wood down there? We don't want to make it too big, leaving a stub. That's wrong, because that will die back and maybe get disease. We don't want to make it too close, giving a wide area that's hard to heal. So we want to make it up against this collar. Okay. This is the definitive pruning cut of a large branch. I'm slowing down now. Okay. So that's how we make our cuts. Thank you.